G'day and welcome to Super Rugby Talk. I'm Jace, and joining me right now is PK.
Yep, good to be here, Jace. Good to be chatting with you.
Yeah, it's a good format we got going on here. At the moment, we're just doing a 5 episode series on each team in the Super Rugby. We're going to do one team for each conference. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Yep, no, it should be good. Just like to let everyone know that we will be, or should I say, these videos will be available at Super Rugby Talk Live. That's our YouTube. So check us out on there.
Cool. It's good to know. Righto, first team we'll be looking at is the Lions, based in Johannesburg in South Africa. Um, they've been disappointing. Their highest place is in 12th. They came 12th last year. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on the Lions and how they're going to do?
Well, I thought not many transfers in or out of this side for this
Mhm.
season. You have guys like Dion van Rensburg. He's had a long campaign with the Lions. He's had 5 years with them. He's finally decided to hang up his boots. I think that'll be a big loss there.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and you also have the likes of Willie Brits, the flanker, and
Right.
he's moving on to the Cheetahs to bolster an already strong Cheetahs forward pack,
Hmm.
by the looks of
Of
it.
course, they've got they're keeping Elton Yantes, had a few tests for the Springboks, and they're led by Warren Whiteley, the captain, loose forward. So they'll be boosted by them. And of course Franco Vandermeer, the lock. He's been good in recent years. So they're not lacking in talent, but I don't think that they'll pose much of a threat this year.
Yeah, yeah, that's right, that's right. Yep, you feel like guys like Warren Whiteley, who was a determined workhorse. He really
Mm.
wants to get that
Mm.
side over the line. I mean, they had a successful opening game against the Cheetahs, and then um, they kind of just fell apart during the middle of the season, losing 7 games in a row.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
and that's really where it fell apart.
Of course, they're one of those teams that just have a good start. You think, oh, this might be their year, but it all
Mm.
falls apart for them.
Yep. Also for them, I think at number 10, Marnitz Bosov, he'll be one to watch. He had a
Mm.
solid start to the season last
Definitely.
season. Very reliable with the boot and kicking a lot of penalties and conversions. So for me, he's the one to watch.
Yeah, they're not lacking in kickers, are they? With Elton Yantes and him. So yeah, no, they're,
Yep.
they're not looking weak, but I still
No.
don't think they're a threat.
Yeah, exactly. I really think it comes down to them having to want to get those home game victories. That's
Mm.
they they didn't seem to win many away games. So I think if they can get those games at home, they should go all right.
Mm. Righto. Next off, we'll look at the Rebels, established the newest team in the Super 15, established in 2011. They've got potential. They've got a really strong captain. However, they only came 15th. They came last year, which is a bit unlucky, I think. What are your thoughts on the Melbourne Rebels?
Um, Melbourne Rebels, what do we got? Right, Melbourne Rebels finished last in the competition last year. Bit
Hmm.
disappointing.
Yeah.
Only winning 4 matches and losing 12.
Hmm.
You start to wonder really what needs to change from them.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
they've looked a lot bigger than that though. They've had pretty close games against bigger teams like the Crusaders. The Waratahs. So they're not lacking, but I think they got huge potential, and this could be their season.
yeah, I mean, I could guess you could relate them to the Lions. They really need to make sure they secure those home victories and then hopefully win a
Mm.
couple on the trot. And then if the luck seems to go their way, they'll be pretty successful. They've got a few big losses going out. They've got the likes of Jason Woodward, who was a
Mm.
class
Yeah.
15. He was solid last year. He was
Yeah.
good on the boat, booting a lot of
Hmm.
conversions and penalties.
Yeah.
A few handy tries under his belt. Big loss in my books.
Mm. Of course, also when you look at their personnel, you got the captain Scott Higginbottom, who's an absolute workhorse. He'll start for the Wallabies in any
Mm.
test, and they've got the likes of Tamati Allison, former All Black, in the centres, and of course you can't forget the big impact player Radiki Samo in the loose forward.
Yeah, too right. I like the look of Tamati Allison. He was a workhorse
Mm.
last year. Him and Mitch Inman, they were taking tackles all over the park.
Mm.
Um, to me, Tamani Ellison, Mitch Inman. I'll also throw in Tom English,
Yeah.
who was on the end
Mhm.
of receiving a lot of very nice tries. You got the likes of Cam Crawford coming in from the Waratahs
Mhm.
and Tom Shipley from the Reds. So expect a
Yeah.
lot of wheels from the Rebels this season.
They've also got Mike Harris coming in from the Reds. He's a great kicker. He's been very successful with the Wallabies. Very got very good pinpoint accuracy. So he'll definitely bolster them. My prediction for the Rebels this season, they got top six potential. I would not be surprised if they take down some of the bigger teams in the competition.
Yeah, that's right. Also, like to have a look at Hugh Pyle,
Mhm.
and who has he's gone and moved on. But I think you have guys like Luke Jones and Caden Neville who are line out aces. You know,
Yeah.
they'll
Yeah.
definitely jump a couple. So yeah.
Yeah, they'll look to attacking the set piece. Right, okay. Next team we got the Auckland Blues. Of course, we don't really need to say a lot about these guys. Former champions in 1996, 97, and 2003, and finalists in 1998. They've been disappointing as of late, and only managed 10th last year. How do you think the Blues are going to go?
I don't think the loss of Manonu will affect them too much.
No, he didn't really perform, did he? It's been
They have
disappointing.
they have a lot of outside backs and a lot of people in the midfield
Mm.
that the Blues always seem to bolster their back line no matter how many players they have there. Oh
Of
well.
course, the likes of Charles Piutau, and they've got Jimmy Cowan returning as well, which will give them a lot of experience that they need because it's a very inexperienced team.
Yeah, the loss of Wepu, you think Jimmy Cowan really has to come in and hit it off. He had a
Mm.
successful campaign with the Marco, so I think he'll go
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Also, they've got a pretty strong forward pack. They've got Charlie Faumuina, Tony Woodcock, Kevin Mialamu, Jerome Kano, of course, captaining the season. That'd be good to see.
Yeah, you could always chuck an Angus Talvo in there. He's always
Yeah.
working up there in the engine room, so for me,
Mm.
he's another one to look out for. What are your thoughts on Jerome Kano at captain? Do you really think he can step up?
Oh look, he's been successful with the All Blacks. I think he can do it. He's capable of leading the forward pack. It's just if he can lead the back line as well.
Yeah, he really is a top workhorse, isn't he?
Mm. Right. Of course they've lost Graham Henry this year, so that'll be a huge loss. So JK is all by himself. We'll have to. This will be where he really prove himself.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the 10 boot? I know they have Ehire West and also picking up Dan Bowden there. Um, anything on
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Ehire West looks pretty good. They got Yeah, I think Ehire West. They're talking about him being the future, so we'll see. He'll be leading he'll be directing the back line, so we'll get a good feel for his style in the early matches, and we'll just see how he goes. I like him. I think he's got a lot of
Hmm.
potential. So yeah, we'll see.
I'm really keen to see how JK is going to sort out that back line because you've got so many names coming through and so much young talent, raw
Mm,
talent coming through that
yeah,
back line who can pierce a gap and potentially create those line breaks. So be good to see if the Blues can get one wide and have a successful
yeah.
campaign.
Well, you mentioned people who can pass the back line. One of those is Charles Piutau. Now, a worry for me is he's their only specialist fullback. So if he goes down, then they're going to get someone playing out of position, which could be a huge problem for them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like I found last year they were shuffling that back line back and forth, back and forth. I don't
Mm,
think JK he didn't quite set the concrete as to who he wanted to be in that back line, but
mm.
they've certainly got the numbers, so I'm sure they can do it.
Yeah, right. My prediction for the season, for the Blues, I think they'll make the top 10, but I don't think they'll crack into the playoffs. I think they'll have a better season this year, but still a bit of time to find their feet, I think.
Yeah, as I say with every team, I really think the Blues, yet again, they have to get those home victories. They were quite successful, I think, last season. I think they
Mm.
only lost a couple of games at home, so they'll look to go big.
Yeah, they've only won two away games in the past two seasons, so yeah, they're really got to get those away games as well.
Yeah, too right.
Right, that's all we've got for today.
Sweet.
I've been Jace and he's been PK.
PK
We'll
here.
join you next time.
Right,
Cool.
see you later. Cheers.
Yeah.